What happens when an undercover CEO notices a struggling single mom on shift? What he does next changes everything. It was a quiet Tuesday evening at Fresh Bite Diner, a small but cozy restaurant tucked away in the heart of a busy town. The smell of freshly baked bread and simmering soup filled the air, and the soft hum of conversation blended with the clinking of plates. The diner wasn't fancy, but it was a place where people came to feel at home. At a corner table, a man in his late 30s sat quietly, sipping a cup of coffee. His name was Ryan Carter, though no one in the diner knew that. To them, he was just another customer. But Ryan wasn't just anyone. He was the CEO of a successful chain of restaurants called Urban Eats. He had built his empire from the ground up, starting as a dishwasher in a small diner much like this one. Ryan had a habit of visiting his restaurants incognito. He believed in staying connected to the people who kept his business running, the employees. Dressed in a simple plaid shirt and jeans, he looked like any ordinary guy, but his sharp eyes missed nothing. That evening, his attention was drawn to a young woman working the floor. Her name was Mia Thompson. She was in her late 20s, with tired eyes that still held a spark of determination. Her uniform was neat, but her hands trembled slightly as she carried a tray of food to a table. Ryan noticed how she moved quickly, almost nervously, as if she were afraid of making a mistake. Mia was a single mom. Her life was a constant juggle between work, her 6-year-old son Noah, and a mountain of bills that never seemed to shrink. She had been working at Fresh Bite for almost a year, but no matter how many shifts she picked up, it never felt like enough. Ryan watched as Mia interacted with the customers. She was polite, always smiling, but there was a sadness behind her eyes that didn't go unnoticed. He saw how she checked her phone discreetly, her face falling slightly each time she put back in her pocket. Curious, Ryan decided to strike up a conversation. When Mia came to refill his coffee, he smiled warmly and said, "Busy night, huh?" Mia nodded, forcing a smile. "Yeah, it's been nonstop, but I don't mind. Keeps me on my toes." Ryan noticed the faint dark circles under her eyes. "You must be exhausted. Do you always work this late?" Mia hesitated, then shrugged. "I work as much as I can. My son, he's my priority. I want to give him the best life possible." Ryan's heart ached at her words. He could hear the love and determination in her voice, but also the exhaustion. "That's admirable," he said softly. "It's not easy being a single parent." Mia's eyes flickered with surprise, as if she wasn't used to someone acknowledging her struggles. "It's tough, but he's worth it. Every sleepless night, every long shift, it's all for him." Ryan nodded, his respect for her growing. He wanted to know more, but he didn't want to pry. Instead, he left her a generous tip and made a mental note to keep an eye on her. Over the next few days, Ryan returned to the diner, always sitting at the same corner table. He observed Mia closely, noticing how she never complained, even when the work was overwhelming. He saw how she interacted with her coworkers, always kind, always willing to help. One evening, as Ryan was about to leave, he overheard a conversation between Mia and her manager. "Mia, I'm sorry, but we can't give you any more shifts this week," the manager said, his tone apologetic but firm. Mia's face fell. "But I really need the hours. My rent is due, and I'm already behind." The manager sighed. "I understand, but we're overstaffed as it is. I'll let you know if anything opens up." Mia nodded, her shoulders slumping as she walked away. Ryan felt a pang of guilt. He knew how hard it was to make ends meet, especially for someone like Mia. That night, Ryan couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Mia and her son. He remembered his own struggles when he was starting out, and how a single act of kindness had changed his life. He knew he had to do something. The next day, Ryan returned to the diner, but this time he wasn't alone. He brought with him a folder containing a proposal. He asked to speak with the owner, a middle-aged man named Greg. "Greg, I've been coming here for a while now, and I've noticed something special about this place," Ryan began. "But I've also noticed that some of your employees are struggling. I'd like to make an offer." Greg raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "What kind of offer?" Ryan handed him the folder. "I want to buy a Fresh Bite Diner, but not just to add it to my chain. I want to invest in it, improve the working conditions, offer better pay, and provide opportunities for growth. And I want to start with Mia Thompson. Greg's eyes widened. Mia? She's a hard worker, but why her? Ryan smiled. Because she represents what this diner is all about. Hard work, dedication, and heart. I want to give her a chance to thrive, not just survive. Greg thought for a moment, then nodded. All right, let's talk numbers. A week later, the diner was under new management. Ryan made sure to keep the changes subtle at first, not wanting to disrupt the diner's charm. But behind the scenes, he was working tirelessly to improve the lives of his employees. For Mia, the changes were life-changing. She was offered a promotion to assistant manager, with a significant raise and flexible hours that allowed her to spend more time with Noah. She was also given access to a company-sponsored childcare program, something she had never dreamed of. When Ryan finally revealed his true identity to Mia, she was speechless. You're the CEO? She stammered, her eyes wide with disbelief. Ryan nodded. I am, but I'm also someone who believes in second chances. You worked so hard, Mia. You deserve this. Tears filled Mia's eyes as she realized the magnitude of what had happened. I don't know how to thank you. Ryan smiled. Just keep being the amazing person you are. That's all the thanks I need. Over time, Mia flourished in her new role. She became a source of inspiration for her co-workers, proving that with hard work and a little help, anything was possible. As for Ryan, he continued to visit his restaurants incognito, always looking for ways to make a difference. He knew that success wasn't just about profits. It was about people. And so, the story of the undercover CEO and the struggling single mom became a reminder that kindness, no matter how small, can change lives in ways we never imagined. The moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of compassion. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness can create the biggest ripple, changing not just one life, but many. Before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to thank you for joining us on this emotional journey. Stories like these remind us of the power of kindness, courage, and standing up for what's right. If this story touched your heart, made you think, or inspired you in any way, let us know in the comments below. Tell us where you're watching from. And don't forget to share this story with others. Sometimes, a simple act of sharing can make a huge impact. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join our community. We've got more heartfelt stories coming your way. Until next time, remember, kindness changes lives. See you soon.